Knockout takes, Almunia saves, knockout follows in, Almunia saves again. Now here come Watford. Here's Hawk. Deeney! Do not scratch your eyes. You are really seeing the most extraordinary finish here.
Hello there guys and welcome, it is Neron here, and today it is time for me to bring you my first episode of Career Mode here with Leicester City on FIFA 16. I'm massively excited to bring you this series in general. I hope you guys liked the intro as well. I hope it didn't bring back too many bad memories for Leicester fans, but obviously it's got a lot better in real life. You guys doing incredibly well in the Premier League, and I think that's probably the reason why Leicester won the vote. I obviously did a vote on Straw Poll. It got 350 plus votes, which is just insane. Leicester came out on top narrowly in the end from Crystal Palace, but I hope you go on to enjoy the video. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so for FIFA 16 career mode content and tips videos in the future, all that good stuff. Like if you do go on to enjoy the video as well. 70 likes to the first episode of this career mode would be absolutely awesome, but I am massively excited to get into this series. As I've already said, there's a good squad here at Leicester, some decent young players, really looking forward to using Riyad Mahrez especially, but the first thing we've got to get into really is pre-season. Before we start making any transfers or whatever, I am going to try and change the squad a little bit, maybe bring in sort of 5 or 6 players, but I'm not going to get rid of the backbone of the team. Guys like Wes Morgan, Kasper Schmeichel will be staying to make sure you Leicester guys are happy. Nevertheless, looking at the pre-season sort of tournament options, we've got the European Continental Shield and European International Cup, which were the ones that sort of intrigued me the most. We went for the middle one, which is the Continental Shield in the end, mainly because it seemed as if we could win it a lot easier than the other two. There were better teams in the other two tournaments. The prize money was pretty much equal, so I wasn't too fussed about that. We'll be playing Vitoria Guimarães, Real Betis, and I think it's Bordeaux as well in the group stages of that tournament. As you can see in the background now, the objectives from the board, of course, we've got to get those as well before we get into some transfers. They want us to get to the round of 16 in the Domestic Cup, but they also want us to finish mid-table in the league, which is fantastic. I used the 60% bonus on the transfer budget, which means we've got 31.2 million, as you can see in the background. This is fantastic. We've got a lot of money and pretty low expectations, to be honest, across the board domestically. So only reaching the round of 16 in the cup, which I've managed to do every single time in a career mode series so far, I think, anyway, and finishing mid-table, which should be possible. Be playing on World Class. I know World Class seems to have got a little bit more difficult this year, but hopefully I'll be able to sort of cope with it, because this game is a lot more different than FIFA 15. But my plans for this episode, you'll have seen you'll see the squad report in a second, so you'll get to know the squad. Then I'll go through some transfers, and at the end of the episode, you'll see 4 of the games from the pre-season tournament, the first 3 group stages and the semi-final. Now they'll be in a very condensed highlight reel format, but trust me, you guys who are subscribed to me already will know that's not how I usually sort of show the highlights from games. I'll do it normally after this. This is just a one-off thing, just so I can get pre-season done as soon as possible, because obviously we want to get into the first game of the season next episode. As you can see though in the background, we've got the squad, and it's a pretty decent squad, to be honest with you. Going forward, there's a lot of damaging players. Nathan Dyer, Riyad Mahrez, Jamie Vardy, Shinji Okazaki, Andre Kramaric as well. I'm thinking of selling Leandro Ulloa because he's a player that doesn't really fit in with my play style. I don't tend to put too many crosses into the box, and because he's a very physical striker, much like Andy Carroll was in West Ham career mode, I'm thinking of getting rid of him. There'll be a few other players, sort of lesser players, but I'm going to, again, as I said earlier, try not to play with the starting 11 too much in terms of players who are household names at Leicester, pretty much apart from Leandro Ulloa. In the background, you'll see the players who are for sale: Matthew James, Andy King, Dean Hammond, Michael Caine, and Simpson, Danny Simpson, that's the guy, the right back who used to play for United. They're all for sale at the moment. I'll be trying to keep guys like Schlupp and also De Gea as well. Tell me if I'm pronouncing any of the players wrong as well, you Leicester fans as well, in the comment section below. I'm also going to try and loan out Robert Huth, Christian Fuchs and Benaloon, who are guys who all came in for Leicester in real life in this transfer window, but are all players I'm not too keen on getting, and then and then that gets them off the wage bill to sort of free up some more money to buy more players. Talking of buying players, there are the action areas, if you like, in terms of players we're trying to buy. A striker, 2 full-backs, a centre-back, a winger and an attacking midfielder. As you can see, there is my shortlist in the background. Kenny Tete, Van der Wiel and Diekmeyer are the right backs I'm looking at for the moment, with Riedewald, Congolo, Sula at the centre backs, Artem Masuaku and Fauzi Gulam at the left backs, with Sturgeon and Sisto as right mids, Corentin Tolisso and Rashedli Bazoa are centre mids. You can see the value has already been set for them, but they haven't been scouted yet. You'll see some of the overalls of the players that I go for a little bit later on. You can see Boufal and Tep, Mbolo, Fekir, Orzic and Samba Sam Larson for you Hin and Veen fans there at the bottom of the screen. As well, as you can see, we're getting some inquiries though back now for some of the players. £6 million and £8 million respectively for Tete and Masuaku. There you can see as well in the background some more coming through. Diekmeyer pretty low, Bazoa about 10 million. I think that's Jairo Riedewald was 7 million, Congolo pretty low as well. Fauzi Gulam and Sula, we look as if we've been outpriced a little bit on those guys. Same for Fabio Sturgeon. So those 3 guys I don't think we'll be looking at. But Pione Sisto, Corentin Tolisso still very much available. And Tep there got a very high valuation, so we probably won't be looking at him. It was the same for Nabil Fekir as well. Samba Sam Larson there, and Mbolo fairly decent. But another player that we made an inquiry about was Sofiane Boufal of Lille. But Lille said he'd recently signed for the club, so there's no chance, unfortunately, getting him. But there's still a lot of players on our shortlist that we're going to be thinking of getting. If there's any players you want me to buy, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. That's really my question of the day. What players do you want me to sign? Nevertheless, we're looking at defenders first because they're the cheaper options. We can try and sign the defenders first and hopefully have a lot of money to get the flared players like the strikers, wingers and attacking mids. We've looked at Kenny Tete and Jairo Riedewald, the 2 youngsters from Ajax who are both 75 stat and 19 and 18 years of age respectively. And we're also making an offer for Terence Congolo of Feyenoord there of £3.5 million, just testing the water really with all of these bids, making them a lot lower than the original valuation. Some of them even half the original valuation that we got back from the inquiries or the replies to the inquiries from their respective clubs. So really just testing the water, as I said, making a £4 million move for Artem Masuaku, who for those of you that don't know is a 75 stat left back who's 21 years of age and from Olympiacos. And as you can see, that transfer offer was actually instantly accepted despite Olympiacos saying they wanted 8 million. So debt haggling is definitely a thing on this game. Unfortunately, Ajax rejected our bid of, I think it was about 3.2 million for Riedewald, so we'll have to go a little bit higher for that. As you can see though, one of our other transfer targets, Terence Congolo, Everton have actually had a bid accepted from Feyenoord for £4.7 million. So it doesn't unfortunately look as if we're going to have to, or as if we're going to be able to sign Congolo, which makes it even more important for us to try and seal a deal here for Jairo Riedewald, who's only we're going to try and go in at a £5.2 million transfer because obviously we can't now get Congolo. Now moving on from the defenders, we're going to have a look at a winger. Now I don't think this might not be the only winger we sign, so don't worry, I'm going to give you an opportunity to suggest some of these players. But Pione Sisto, who was a 73 stat 20-year-old player who's got about 83 potential, we made a £3.2 million bid for the Midtjylland right mid who plays in Denmark, and it was accepted. And the £5.2 million offer that we made for Riedewald was also accepted. So it's fantastic news on those fronts. Not all good news, however, because Kenny Tete's bid, or Ajax in fact, decided to reject our bid for Kenny Tete, the right back. But Riedewald has accepted, or Ajax have accepted, the bid for Riedewald, and we've also had a bid accepted for Pione Sisto. We've also had a bid accepted for Artem Masuaku, as you know from earlier, and we're going to try and make a contract offer for him as well, 25k a week and a 4-year contract. Not going to specify the squad role for now, but if he does want that, that is fine. In the end, it proved not to be the case, and it looks as if we are going to be signing Artem Masuaku as our first signing in this entire career mode. 9 minutes gone. Wow, that's gone quickly. But nevertheless, we're going to be signing this guy. This is the first transfer then of this entire career mode. Again, don't worry, I am only making one signing for now without your guys' permission, and then feel free to comment in a comment section the players that you want me to sign. But that's going to be it in terms of the transfer stuff for now, but you might see a little bit more at the end. There you can see his confirmation that Masuaku is in fact our first signing of this entire career mode. But now we are going to look at the highlights from the first 4 games of this pre-season tournament against Betis, Bordeaux, Vitoria Guimarães and Cologne, and I hope you enjoy the sort of highlights reel format. The first game of Leicester's pre-season would see them face Real Betis in the first game of the European Continental Shield, and they would take the lead early on, with Jamie Vardy managing to skip past a few challenges before slotting coolly past the Real Betis goalkeeper after just half an hour in the game. Now Leicester would challenge again later on, just 7 minutes later, as Mark Albrighton swung a corner into the box. Gökhan Inler managed to get on it and score his first goal for Leicester since signing for Napoli in the summer. And that is how the game would end, with the Foxes winning their first pre-season game 2-0. The second game of the pre-season tournament would see the Foxes face Bordeaux of Ligue 1, and this time not getting off to the greatest of starts, but in the end just about managing to score late on, as Kramaric managed to steal the ball back off a Bordeaux defender before coolly slotting the ball across for Okazaki, who managed to panel the goalkeeper and give Leicester the lead, giving them a 1-0 lead in the game, a tough fought match, and that is how the game would end, 2 wins out of 2 in the tournament early on. There was still the possibility for Leicester to be eliminated after the group stages despite winning their first 2 games, and it looked as if it could be a possibility after Vitória Guimarães took the lead in their third group stage of the tournament. However, it needed results to go against them, and despite the Foxes losing the game, Bordeaux were unable to win, and so Leicester progressed to the last 4. The semi-final saw a tricky game against the Bundesliga side Cologne, but it would be Leicester who took the lead yet again, and again Gökhan Inler stealing the ball off a Cologne defender and setting up Andrej Kramaric to blast past Timo Horn in the Cologne goal to make it 1-0 in off the post. That would become 2-0 as Joe Dodoo managed to latch onto a through ball from Nathan Dyer to effectively kill off the tie and see Leicester through to the final with his first goal for the club, the game ending 2-0 to Leicester City. So a very good start to proceedings in terms of transfers, the sort of budget, the expectations, and also in terms of games as well, progressing to the final of the European Continental Shield there, winning 2 of the group stage games and then beating Cologne in the semi-finals. Now we'll see the final next time out in episode 2, and that'll be in my normal highlights format, but for now we've got to focus on the transfers, and I've got to ask you guys a question as we come to the end of this first episode. Jairo Riedewald and Pione Sisto both accepted contract offers from us. Here you can see the players in the background fully scouted, so you know a little bit more information about the players. Do you think we should sign them? Riedewald being for 5.2 million, having 87 potential, and Sisto being for 3.2 million and having 83 potential. So feel free to leave that in the comment section below, and I will do whatever you guys want me to do, because obviously I want to sort of entertain you guys. In the background you'll see Fuka-Arta Masuaku, just to give you a little bit of a guide as to who this dude is. The left back, 75 stat, 21 years of age, that we signed from Olympiacos. But I hope you did enjoy that first episode of Career Mode. I certainly did enjoy recording it. Some fantastic deals on the table and also some pretty decent games in the pre-season friendlies. If you did enjoy, feel free to smash the like button. 70 likes on the first episode of this series would be massively appreciated. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already for tips videos in the future, as well as FIFA 16 Career Mode content for the coming months. But nevertheless, it has been an absolute pleasure ranting at you guys today. Don't forget to sort of answer my questions for my questions, if you like, of the day. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm really looking forward to this series. Tell me if you're hyped as well, and if I did a good job, you know, just tell me if there's anything I need to improve on as well, because I always want to improve for you guys. But nevertheless, it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.